Hey guys, so I recently went to Pensacon again, and I can't remember if I've ever done a video like this. I may have, but I'm not 100% certain. But even if I have, I feel like it's kind of worth updating. But I thought I'd do a video showing you all of the autographs that I've obtained in person. All of these I've obtained at Pensacon. I've been there 4 times over the course of 5 years. So, obviously, cons like this, big cons, and, Pensacon is known for getting a lot of celebrities, Some cons, they don't really emphasize the whole celebrity aspect of it, and then, some cons, they'll get, like, a few celebrities, maybe 5 or so, but, it's going to be, like, the really big-name people that, you got to pay, like, $200 to $300 just to get autographed from. Pensacon, I think, kind of does more of a balance of quality and quantity. You'll get, like, maybe, like, 4 or so, like, fairly huge names. Like, you're probably not going to get any of, like, the main MCU stars, but, you'll probably get some, like, fan favorite supporting characters and, that sort of thing, and, noteworthy voice actors and, other things like that. But, they get a lot of smaller actors there, too, that, aren't as well-known and such. So, yeah, Pensacon definitely tends to have one of the bigger guest rosters as far as cons go. But, yeah, so I usually try to narrow it down to, like, my top 5 or 6 that I want, just because, there's going to be so many, and, due to time and money, I usually can't get, absolutely everybody I want. But, yeah, there was one year that, like, I just couldn't really, I could narrow down a few that I want, but, nobody that I felt was really exciting enough to, pay the entrance fee to also, get their autographs and meet them. So, yeah, there was one year that I just skipped. And then this most recent con, there wasn't a whole lot of people for me to really narrow down, but it came down to just being 2 names. And so I decided to just go for one day. But yeah, all the others I got 3-day passes. One time I got a VIP pass just because there's a lot of people that I was kind of anticipating were going to have long lines, and then sure enough they had really long lines, so I'm glad I did that. So yeah, I'm going to start off knocking out the big piece that's kind of awkward for me to just show on camera. Alright, so we're going to start off my Lord of the Rings poster. You always see it in the background of all my videos. I first got it signed by Sean Astin, who was Sam. I did not get that in person. He was running a charity. I donated to it and got this poster for it, but in person I did get John Rhys Davies, who was Gimli. And yeah, I shipped it out to get signed by all the rest of the Hobbits. I was hoping to make this a big cast piece, but not only did that sign get canceled, but you can kind of see it got damage in shipping. It's not horrible, but I'm hesitant to try to get any more signatures on it, So that kind of sucks. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, I'm going to show you signed. Well, I only have one signed item that's not a pop. So I'll knock that out of the way, then I'll knock out my pops, then I'll go to my table 8x10. So got this little frying pan signed by Karen Allen, who is Marion Ravenwood from Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark, as well as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I don't think is quite as bad of a movie as most people make out to be, but it's definitely one of the weaker Indiana Jones movies. But yeah, a lot of people were confused when I got this signed by her. Yeah, she knocked a guy out with a frying pan. I mean, I thought that's one of the kind of coolest and at the same time funniest scenes with her, so that's what I got. I wish that I had specified that, I wanted it signed so it'd be right side up when it's hanging like this, because I was going to hang it on my wall. I just didn't think about it, so I just have it propped up on a shelf. It's alright, though. It's cool. She was fun to meet. So yeah, let's get into my pops now. I have 2 big pops and 4 normal pops that I got signed in person. So, first off, something I forgot to mention, she said this was her first frying pan to sign. So, this is another first item that I got signed. But I got the Mandalorian movie moment signed by David Accord, who there's a lot of sound design and sound engineering for Star Wars, as well as a lot of creature and other odd voices, most notably the voice of Grogu. So yeah, and maybe I can get it signed by Pedro Pascal eventually. Honestly, I'm not feeling overly optimistic about it, but hey, if it does happen, cool. If not, I think it's cool on its own. Then got the Armorer signed by Emily Swallow. And ask for the line, you're a clan of two. Mainly because I kind of see a lot of Din Djarin and Grogu between me and Thomas. You know, that was the inspiration for my Mudhorn tattoo as well. Then, I meant to show off my other big pop. Sorry about that, but got this signed by Zach Galligan. I can remember his first name, his last name was slipping my mind, but yeah, you don't really see much stuff for like the human characters from the Gremlins, so you know, I was fine with, you know, getting it his name on a Gizmo Pop, and if you're gonna get on a Gizmo Pop, might as well get it on the best Gizmo Pop, which is of course Gizmo in the red car. Hot Topic exclusive. And you know, ask for the quote, "Don't feed them after midnight." Then, this is from the most recent Pensacon, one of the two autographs that I got there. So I got Jessie Flower. Her actual name is Michaela Murphy. But in like a lot of her credits, she likes to go by Jessie Flowers, so that's how she signed it. But yeah, voice of Toph, my favorite character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. She's known as the Blind Bandit. I like to call her the Blind Smartass. Because, yeah, she's a total smartass. Really funny, really badass. Yeah, ask for her line, I'm not Toph, I am Melon Lord. And also had her write it out to Twinkle Toes, which is her nickname to Aang. I thought that'd be kind of funny touch. I mean, you know, there's just a lot of you know, quotes and one-liners that pretty noteworthy for her, so, you know, I kind of want to pack a few in there, so, yeah, now this next one is probably my, biggest grail that I obtained in person. So this pop was gifted to me by, Brooklyn. I met up with them in, Scotland, but, yeah, so Ahsoka is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, definitely my favorite to come out of the animated series. And yeah, I got signed by her voice actress, Ashley Eckstein, in person. It was kind of tempting to get the quote, I'm no Jedi on there, but this is a Clone Wars pop, and she said that in Rebels. I felt like that would have been kind of inappropriate to get on there, and you know, I don't really feel like she had any particularly noteworthy quotes from Clone Wars, so I didn't get any quotes on here. And then the last pop that I got signed in person, one of the more fun ones to get, I thought, but I got it signed by, oh crap, his name's slipping my mind now, but it'll probably come to me eventually, but yeah, I got it signed by the voice actor for General Grievous, and like David Accord, he also does a lot of sound design and engineering. He's done a bunch of other voices in Star Wars. Like I think in The Phantom Menace they actually just used like a actual computer program or something to make all the battle droid voices, because I could never find the credits for who did the voices for them, but he did the voices for the battle droids and Clone Wars and a few other odds and ends in there. Wish I could remember his name, but oh well, but yeah. and he put the quote, "crush them" on it. I like how he put a lot of ink on it without really completely covering the pop. So that's cool. So yeah, that's all the pops that I have signed now. I'm going to get into my 8x10s. So most of my 8x10s I keep in this notebook. Nothing particularly fancy about, but I do, just for additional protection, like to put them in a plastic liner with cardboard backing. But my most recent, I just haven't got that for it yet. It's still on a top loader, which is a bit too big to slide in there. But yeah, I did get Alex Winter, who was Bill from Bill and Ted. He put "Be Excellent." Why'd he put that there? You know, I wanted to quote from there, but you know, there's so many great quotes from there. It's kind of hard to really choose one. So that's what he put on there. So I'm quite happy with that. All right, so now getting into my book here. So first off, we have Colin Cantwell, who was the designer for the Death Star and several other noteworthy ships from Star Wars, like the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter, the Star Destroyer, the Millennium Falcon, the Y-Wing. And there's probably a couple more that I'm missing, but you know, a lot of the really noteworthy ships I consider to be the most iconic from Star Wars he designed. But my favorite is, of course, the Death Star. This one was kind of underwhelming because everything on his table was pre-signed. It said "for" and it said Colin Cantwell. All that he did in person was add your name for the personalization. So that was a little bit underwhelming, but still a really interesting guy. You know, definitely kind of feel like he's one of the unsung heroes of the Star Wars trilogy. He also worked on 2001: A Space Odyssey. He recommended the use of classical music, because there actually was a score that was made for it, but they ended up using classical music instead, and he recommended that. He also recommended the opening crawl for Star Wars. So, I mean, in my opinion, one of the most underrated people who was involved in Star Wars. Next, we have Garrick Hagen, who was Biggs Darklighter, Star Wars. His ink got a little bit splattered and smeared on this one, though, unfortunately. Then we have Palm Clementif, who was Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. Then we have Jason Isaacs, who was Lucius Malfoy from Harry Potter. We have Ray Park, who was Darth Maul, the Phantom Menace. Next up, we have Rico Browning, legendary creature from the Black Lagoon, which is my favorite Universal Monster movie, and he's the last living Universal Monster movie actor. So there was actually two actors that portrayed Gilman, as he's known as. Can't remember the land actor, but he was the actor that was did all the swimming. Then there's another dual signed. I got it signed in person by Sean Gunn. Then I added, I'm going to catch a lot of hell for this because he's a really popular guy. He was actually at the most recent Pensacon I was at, but since I already have his autograph, Michael Rooker, who was, now I'm forgetting his, Yondu. Yeah, I got Sean Gunn in person, brother of James Gunn, and he's also done a lot of motion capture, most notably for Rocket Raccoon. He was actually a Thanos for a scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Next, we got, sorry, I'm really terrible at remembering names in case you haven't noticed, but we got Mr. Clark from Stranger Things, his actor, Randy Havens. And then Got Adrian Belew, who was the voice of Catwoman from Batman the Animated Series. For a while, I was pretty big on collecting Batman Animated Series autographs, but I kind of feel like I got pretty much all the big ones that really matter. So I haven't really got any autographs from Batman in a while. Next, I believe this was my first autograph that I obtained in person. He was a really neat guy, fun to meet. I do wish he signed in something that wasn't black, because it does kind of blend in a little bit too well, but damn. Remember his first name was Paul. But yeah, I got a Greedo. It says Clayton, always shoot first. Han. I might be able to add Harrison Ford to it eventually. But, you know, again, I'm not being that optimistic, but it's still just a cool photo, you know. And then we got Michael Biehn, who was Kyle Reese from the first Terminator. He's been in a lot of other stuff too. But yeah, this is what I think of when I think of Michael Biehn. And I believe, yeah, that's all that I got. So those are all the autographs that I've obtained in person. It's always been fun. I've heard a lot of people say they've had a lot of bad interactions when they meet people like that. I mean, I've had some that are pretty underwhelming, you know, some of those, you know, just, you know, get signed and then it's over. No real interaction at all. That's the closest I've had to bad interaction. I mean, I've never had anybody be rude or douchey to me, you know, some that are, you know, quite friendly and, you know, have a brief chat with me. That's always nice. But yeah, that's what I've got so far. If you obtain any interesting autographs in person, let me know. But yeah, I'll see you whenever I do another video.